On October 15, 1987, in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, soldiers surrounded the Conseil de l'Entente building. Inside was Thomas Sankara, the 37-year-old revolutionary president who had transformed one of Africa's poorest nations in just 4 years. Within minutes, he and 12 colleagues lay dead, assassinated in a coup led by his closest friend, Blaise Compaoré. But who was Thomas Sankara? And why does his legacy continue to inspire millions across Africa and the world nearly 4 decades later? This is the story of the man they call Africa's Che Guevara, a revolutionary who dared to dream of a truly independent Africa. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was born on December 21, 1949 in Yako, a small town in what was then the French colony of Upper Volta. He was the third of 10 children in a modest family. His father, a World War II veteran and gendarme. Growing up in colonial Africa, young Thomas witnessed the inequalities that defined French rule. When Upper Volta gained independence on August 5, 1960, the 11-year-old Sankara watched as his country achieved freedom in name only. France maintained economic control through the CFA franc and Neocolonial agreements. The pivotal moment came in 1969 when 19-year-old Sankara enrolled in military academy in Antsirab, Madagascar. This wasn't just a military training. Madagascar was experiencing revolutionary upheaval. The 1972 student uprisings exposed Sankara to Marxist ideology and anti-imperialist thought. It devoured the works of Karl Marx, Frantz Fanon, and Patrice Lumumba. In Madagascar, he befriended Blaise Compaoré, the man who would later betray him. Sankara returned to Upper Volta in 1973 as a committed Pan-Africanist and revolutionary socialist. Throughout the 1970s, Captain Sankara distinguished himself as an unconventional officer who educated his troops about their rights and social justice. He formed a band using music as political education. His charisma and guitar playing made him beloved by soldiers and civilians alike. By 1983, after serving bravely as Prime Minister, Sankara was arrested for his radical views. His arrest sparked massive protests. On August 4, 1983, young radical officers led by Blaise Compaoré launched a coup, freed Sankara and made him president at just 33 years old. This wasn't just another military coup, it was a revolution. Sankara's first symbolic act came on August 4, 1984. He announced that Upper Volta, a colonial name, would become Burkina Faso, meaning the land of the incorruptible people, and the citizen would be Burkinabe, the upright people. Between 1983 and 1987, Sankara implemented Africa's most ambitious revolutionary program. Sankara refused to pay Burkina Faso's foreign debt, calling it neocolonial exploitation. At the Organization of African Union Summit in Addis Ababa on July 29, 1987, he delivered his most famous speech. The debt cannot be repaid. If we don't pay, our lenders will not die, and if we pay, we will die. He withdrew from the IMF and World Bank programs, promoted consume Burkinabe campaigns requiring officials to wear locally woven Faso Danvani fabric instead of imported suits, and changed government vehicles from Mercedes-Benz to Renault 5, cheapest cars available. Sankara slashed government salaries, including his own, living on just $450 per month. He banned first-class travels and government chauffeurs. His personal possessions in 1983: one car, 4 bicycles, 3 guitars, a broken freezer, and a mortgaged house. With production doubled from 1,700 to 3,800 kilograms per hectare without imported fertilizers. He redistributed land from feudal chiefs to peasants and built irrigation systems across the country. His choice routes program fought bushfires, livestock roaming, and deforestation. Between 1983 and 1987, over 10 million trees were planted to combat Sahel desertification. Sankara built over 350 schools. Primary enrollment jumped from 12% to 22%. His government constructed over 100 health clinics. The vaccination campaign was extraordinary. Between 1983 and 1984, approximately 2.5 million Burkina children were vaccinated against measles, yellow fever, and rubella. The World Health Organization called it the most ambitious vaccination campaign ever undertaken in Africa. On March 8, 1987, Sankara declared the revolution cannot triumph without the genuine emancipation of women. He banned female genital mutilation, forced marriages, and polygamy. Women received property rights and government positions. He recruited women into military and police forces and created the Union of Burkinabe Women for political mobilization. He declared August 4th Husband's Day, requiring men to shop and cook to appreciate women's labor. Sankara established people revolutionary tribunals that publicly tried corrupt officials. All government ministers had to declare their assets publicly. Any unexplained wealth was seized. Sankara's vision extended beyond Burkina Faso. He was a committed Pan-Africanist who believed African unity was essential to overcome neocolonialism. At the July 29, 1987 OAU summit in Addis Ababa, his depth speech electrified progressive movements but terrified Western governments. We cannot repay the debt because we have nothing to pay it with. Others owe us what the greatest wealth could ever repay, the debt of blood. He supported liberation movements, fighting apartheid in South Africa, backing the ANC and SWAPO in Namibia. He established ties with Cuba, Libya, and Nicaragua. Fidel Castro visited Ouagadougou in 1987, and the two developed a close friendship. But Sankara's radicalism made powerful enemies. France, under President Francois Mitterrand, viewed him as threatening French interests in West Africa. The United States saw him as a Soviet proxy during the Cold War. Conservative African leaders like Felix Houphouët-Boigny of Ivory Coast feared the revolutionary message would inspire uprising in their countries. By 1987, international opposition was growing. Traditional chiefs who lost land, wealthy merchants whose exploitation was curtailed, and military officers who felt sidelined or plotted against him. Most ominously, Sankara's relationship with Blaise Compaoré was deteriorating. Compaoré favored slower reforms and better relations with France. He cultivated relationships with Ivory Coast and Libya. By October 1987, Sankara knew a coup was being planned. Close confidants urged him to act preemptively. He refused. If the people are with the revolution, they will defend it. If they are not, then the revolution has already failed. On the afternoon of October 15, 1987, Sankara attended a routine CNR meeting at the Conseil de l'Entité building around 4:30 p.m. Armed soldiers surrounded the building by approximately 5 p.m. Thomas Sankara was dead, his body riddled with bullets. 12 other people died with him, including ministers and bodyguards. The assassins, reportedly including hitmen from Liberia's Charles Taylor, showed no mercy. Bodies were quickly buried in unmarked graves at the Agnoen cemetery. By evening, Blaise Compaoré announced on state radio that he had seized power to rectify the revolution's deviations. He claimed Sankara had become a dictator. Few believed it. Most recognized the truth. Africa's most promising revolutionary leader had been assassinated, likely with French complicity. Sankara's widow, Miriam, and their 2 sons went into exile. Many allies were imprisoned or killed. The revolution was over. For 27 years, Blaise Compaoré ruled Burkina Faso, systematically erasing Sankara's legacy. He restored ties with France, joined IMF programs, and reversed revolutionary reforms. Speaking Sankara's name publicly became dangerous. But ideas cannot be killed. Sankara's speeches circulated on bootleg cassettes. Students studied his writings secretly. Artists commemorated him in songs across Africa. Young people discovered his stories and claimed him as their hero. On October 30 and 31st, 2014, 27 years after his death, the Burkinabe people rose up. Hundreds of thousands, led by youth movements, took to the streets demanding Compaoré's resignation. They chanted Sankara's name and carried his image. On October 31st, Campari fled to Ivory Coast, the man who killed Thomas Sankara was finally driven from power by citizens inspired by Sankara's example. In 2015, Sankara's body was exhumed and reburied with honor. On April 6, 2022, a military tribunal convicted Blaise Compaoré in absentia and sentenced him to life imprisonment for Sankara's assassination. Thomas Sankara lived only 37 years and governed for just 4, yet it demonstrated that a different Africa is possible, one not subservient to former colonial masters, where leaders served rather than exploit, where ordinary citizens transformed their own societies. Today, nearly 4 decades after his death, Sankara's relevance has only grown. His critiques of foreign debt proves prophetic. African nations now owe over $1 trillion. His environmental programs anticipated today's climate crisis. His feminism remains revolutionary. Most importantly, Sankara inspires African youth frustrated with corrupt leadership. He represents a different possibility. Young, incorruptible leadership committed to people rather than personal enrichment. His face appears on t-shirts from Dakar to Nairobi. His speeches are quoted in protest from Johannesburg to Cairo. Musicians and intellectuals across the African diaspora claim him as their hero. Thomas Sankara once said, "While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas." He was right. His ideas continue to inspire new generations fighting for a more just and independent Africa. The question for Africans today is, do we have the courage Thomas Sankara had? The courage to invent the future? If you learned something new from this video and gain value from it, kindly like and subscribe so we can reach more audience and we can grow as a channel. Thank you.